So let's look about commissioning a website from a well-established web design company. What are the pro aspects of that? You will get an individually designed website that will appeal to your customer base. The company will be able to provide you with a content management system, an online booking facility to enable your guests to either check availability or indeed book their accommodation online. And you'll have the facility to update your own website. They should be able to design a website for you that is search engine friendly so that you get good natural listings in Google and the other search engines. And it should be easily upgradable as your business grows and develops. Now, Somerset is rich with creative media businesses. There are lots of excellent website designers out there, and prices can start from as little as £250. What are the possible drawbacks? Well, it can be more expensive than do it yourself, but you've got to factor in the time it takes you to learn the software and go through the learning curve of building your own website. Go to a website designer prepared with your text, your images and your site plan. Have an idea of what you're trying to communicate. You don't have to understand code, but do go to them with all the content that you want to put on the site. And also, finally, be clear about the ownership of the site. When the site is live and it's sitting on the server, do they still own it or do you? And if there was a dispute and you had to take it off to somebody else, would you be able to take the whole site away or just the content that you brought to it in the first place? The other option is designing your own website using software or an online application. Software packages can come as little as £20 and can go upwards of £750. You will have complete control over the design depending on the level of software that you buy. And the simplest packages are very quick and easy to use and can get you a website up very promptly. What are the drawbacks? Well, it can be a steep learning curve. You're probably going to have to learn a little bit of code to understand how your website is put together. And if you're using a template online application, your website design will lose some of its distinctiveness because it's going to look like a lot of other template design websites. And most importantly, it can distract you from really getting on and growing and building your business. So what I would recommend is you at least get some prices from local website developers before you take that final decision. How do you go about finding a website designer in the first place? Well, your first port of call is to call BusinessLink on 0845 600 6699 and ask to speak to one of their e-business advisors. Also consider word of mouth and personal recommendation. If one of your colleagues or friends has got a very effective, well-designed website, find out who designed it and go and talk to them. Or visit one of the online directories like the UKWDA, the UK Web Designers Association.org. Now, when you go and approach a website designer, you want to make sure that they demonstrate an understanding and an ability in three very important areas. And those areas are, they need to have good design skills, they need to be technically proficient, and most importantly of all, they need to understand your business. Now, you can get a sense of their design skills by studying their portfolios. You can look at their online websites they've already designed, get a flavour of the style they use, the photography, the way they lay out the index and so on. And most good website design companies will have a portfolio page. They need to be technically proficient. They need to design you a website that is accessible to perhaps people who have a struggle with a site-related problem or maybe a mobility issue. They might not be able to use a mouse. Will they offer you a stats package? And more importantly, will they help you evaluate those website statistics? And we'll cover that in more detail in a future module. Will your website be search engine friendly? Will it be picked up by Google? What is their backup policy? If their server goes down, how will you make sure that your website is back up and running quite quickly? And what do they charge for maintenance and updating your website? And the third aspect is, do they really understand and do they care about your business? Or do they just want to sell you an off-the-shelf template that they've designed for another bed and breakfast? Find out what they know about marketing. Get them to ask questions about your customers so that they design a website that really appeals to your target market. Check that they've got ideas about offline and online marketing, and also find out whether the initial consultancy is free or whether they make a charge. So armed with some of that information, you should have a smooth ride talking to a website design company.